Hey guys, welcome back. And okay, so today's tea, I am Lee, tea with Lee, is going to be a little bit different. I've decided I am still going to do book 4 in the True Blood series, but today I felt like just doing a story time. And if you've seen the title, it's how I am coping with losing my best friend. And my best friend in this sense was an 8-year-old Dachshund or Wiener dog, and he died last year in March, 12 days after my birthday, so it was a lousy birthday month. Sorry, I don't know why I'm smiling. It's like a story that I'm sort of afraid to share, and when I'm stressed, I have like a very jokeresque, like my mouth can't stop smiling. Okay, so last year I was living in Pretoria, and it was the 3rd year that I had been living there, and I was living on my own with my best friend, who was my dog Charlie. And Charlie died on a Thursday because he had fallen down the stairs in my little apartment, and a disc had ruptured into his spinal column, and he was paralyzed from the waist down. So that Thursday, it was the 27th. I'm not great with dates, so I am standing under correction. I'm not someone who, I didn't really want to look it up because I just wanted to jump right into the vlog and just get it over with. That Thursday morning, I was getting ready, I was doing my makeup, my hair, I was just getting ready for another busy day. I was working at an optometry practice, and working there was very stressful for me and was just not it was a terrible time for me. And coming home each day was, I loved coming home because I would be greeted at the gate by Charlie. But on this day, he did not meet me at the gate, and he was stuck on my couch, which was facing the sliding door that I come into when I enter the apartment. And he was stuck on the couch, and I could see he was like trying to launch himself using his front legs, but his hind legs were like sluggish and they were not moving. And I went into full on panic mode, and I grabbed his green blanket, grabbed Charlie, sort of just put him in the car, and luckily for me, the vet was only 5 minutes away from my home. So I got there just before 5:30, and I was helped immediately, and I explained to the vet what happened, and she looked at him and she told me, yes, he's paralyzed. She also just quickly x-rayed him as well. And she told me that she would keep him overnight, and then I could call in the morning, which would have been Friday morning, the 28th, and then I could come see him. So that whole day, so the Thursday night I was bawling my eyes out, and I called my parents, and if it wasn't for the medication that I was taking, I wouldn't have slept that night. And I was just crying because I was really scared, and I knew that he wasn't ever going to come home. My options were that I had to either spend 20,000 Rand for a surgery that isn't 100% guaranteed, which to me is a lot of money, and I couldn't expect my parents to pay over that money. I didn't feel it was right. And so I went to work that Friday. I worked 8 to 5, and then my dad came from Bloem to just support me. I didn't really, I told him it wasn't necessary, because I felt like I at that time felt like I was fine. So my dad came down, and my dad was very emotional because Charlie had been with my family for 8 years. And my parents aren't really dog people. My brother's also not a dog person, but I am. I need a dog. It's sort of like therapeutic for me to look after another being. So Dad came with me. We went to the vet. Dad said goodbye to Charlie. My mom had also said goodbye to him the day before. And the vet asked me one more time if I was sure that this is what I wanted to do. I said yes, because he was in a lot of pain. And for some or other reason, I decided that I would stay with him and hold him while she put him down, which in hindsight was not the best idea for me, because I still sometimes have nightmares because before she put him down, she told me what to expect. And it was, I knew that he would void his bowels, because that's what happens when people die. Obviously what happens when animals die, if all the sphincters just open and whatever is in there comes out. The other thing she told me was his lungs would re-inflate, and I still don't really understand why that happened, but it did. So Charlie knew what was happening, and he started freaking out, and I had to hold him, and he started crying, and he was really, really scared. And I just kept comforting him, and I kept telling him everything's going to be okay. And I told him that someday I would meet him again, because I believe in heaven, and I believe that when I go to heaven, I'm going to see all of my dead relatives and both my dead dogs now. And so I take comfort in knowing that I'm going to someday see them. Ooh. So she put him down, and then she told me she was going to give me some time to say goodbye, which I'm incredibly grateful for, because I had 5 minutes where I just got to talk to him. And he was gone for what felt like just a couple of seconds, and then he took this really deep breath, and in like a split second I thought he was coming back to me, and he wasn't. And that it was so traumatizing, and I'll never do it again, because it's something that'll stick with me for the rest of my life. And I regret it, but I'm also glad that it happened, because I got a chance to say goodbye. So I did get my closure, and I know there are people in the world that there's no such thing as closure. Yes, there is. If I hadn't been in there, I would have also regretted that. So it's sort of being, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because what I witnessed was terrifying, but it was also something that I had to do just for myself. And for the months after that, I was just so lonely and so sad, and I missed him so much. There was so much crying, and I was just not doing well. And my job situation didn't end well. I had such a difficult time after Charlie died. I just couldn't function, and I wasn't functioning like I should, and I lost 12 kilograms in 2 months, because I was pushing myself really hard, but I was emotionally shut down, and I wasn't eating, and my parents were really worried. And so they took my parents made this decision for me to move back home to Bloem, which I'm so grateful for now, because I feel like I'm mentally, I'm more stable, and the environment here is just healthier because I'm surrounded by people that love me. I'm not alone. And then, okay, so 6 months later, I my parents, you know, I still live with my dad. My mom's still based in Pretoria, so I wanted a puppy, like 3 months. So that would have been June, and my parents we were very hesitant because all of us were still mourning Charlie, and we all had this sense that if we got a puppy too soon, it would be like we were replacing him, and it wasn't. No, that wasn't the case. I'm just someone that I need a puppy. My very existence relies very much on having to take care of people and to take care of a dog. And so I got Daisy. And Daisy is just such a joy. She's just so different from Charlie. I also realized that I'm not as young as I used to be. Okay. Daisy is a Jack Russell Terrier. She's purebred. The day I got her, it was one of the best days of my life. I paid 900 Rand for her, and I got her from people who had like a bait shop business. It was very suspect because the place sort of looked like it was there, but if I came back the next day, that place would just be gone. It didn't seem like it was a real business. So I went in and I was like, hi, I'm Leanne, 900 Rand cash. I'm here for the little female Jack Russell. Now, I'd never had a female dog. And I didn't really think it through. So I got my previous two dogs were wiener dogs, Dachshunds, or Dachshunds, and Daisy's a Jack Russell Terrier. And I had done my research, and I knew that Jack Russells are high energy dogs, but I was like, I'm a high energy person. I have bipolar type 2, so I'm a manic depressive, and I have more manic episodes than depressive episodes. I'm either very, very high energy and bouncing off the walls, or I'm just like normal. I'm just stable. It's very rare that I have depression. So I'm actually thinking I'm just a manic person. I don't know if I'm a manic depressive. Anyway, so I was like, yes, I'm manic like 9 out of 10 days, so I'll be able to keep up with her. I completely underestimated it. When I got Mr. Wuggles, which was originally my brother's dog, I'll get into that story also in a second. And he was, if I had to have to describe all of my dog's personalities, Mr. Wuggles was a lazy dog. He was very lazy. Charlie was a little more high energy, but also lazy. He just ate, slept, and I would get him tennis balls, which he didn't so much enjoy the idea of fetch. He was like a tennis ball, and he would like chew off all the fuzz, some of which he would swallow and then would come out the back end, and then he would like cut it in half, and then he was done with it. So Charlie's main focus with toys was destruction. And then Miss Daisy May is got one setting, and that setting is go. But one saving grace is she's busy from like 7:30 up until 7:30, 8ish in the evening, and then she crashes. So in that sense, I'm lucky with her. She's busy during the day, yes, but at night she sleeps, so that's fine. Daisy was just high energy, and things that I didn't think she would chew, she would chew. Like, she has gone through like 12 of my pens. She started eating my cookies that I use for vlogging notes and to just write on my timeline, you know, my expectations and goals that I want to, and milestones I want to hit, milestones that I want to hit, um, doing this whole vlogging my life journey. Um, so, and she chose papers. She started chewing my books, and my books are sacred. So I flipped out over that, and I was just, so everything that I love, I've realized I have to just like put it on a in a very high spot where she can't reach it. She also like climbs on our chairs, and she's climbed on our tables, so you have to push in your chair. It's just, she's a lot. And I'm not 17 and I'm not 25, so my energy is high still, but I'm 34, so it's not as high as it was when I had Wally's, which was 17, when I had Charlie when I was 25. So it's been exhausting. Other thing that you have to realize when you get a female dog is that they are at high risk to fall pregnant. So I had to get her spayed as soon as possible, and I was late to the game because you are the earliest you can spay your puppies is 6 months, and I was 3 months late. Luckily, I had it done before the whole COVID virus, and okay, no, the COVID virus was there already, before the whole lockdown. So 1,740 Rand and 20 cents later, it's safe for Daisy to be around male dogs, because she's like a puppy at 10 months, but there was a Boodle across the road, and she got into their garden, and she was showing signs of being ready to mate. So that was terrifying. So Daisy is a joy, but I very much feel like it's the first puppy that I have, because the notes and the playbook that I was playing the list of steps that I was following with Wally's and Charlie completely changed, because she's a different dog, she's female, and she's a baby. So my best friend died, and I didn't replace him. I got a new best friend who is a cheeky monkey, but she's such a blessing. I love dogs. I tell people that I'm an animal person, but I love dogs and I love horses. Cats, I'm not really a cat person, because cats to me remind me very much of the girls that I went to school with. Very snobbish, and if they don't like you, they don't like you, and sometimes they'll like you and sometimes they won't. It's very much like the girls that I went to school with. Okay, so that's my story time. A lot of people are gonna find that this was very boring, and I'm sorry to you for that, but this is a story that I really wanted to share, and I'm using this channel very much as for a cathartic purpose, because it's a lot cheaper than paying 500 Rand for 1 hour to have someone tell me things that I already know, that are pretty logical. And the only time I have to see my psychiatrist is when I have to get refills for my scripts. So you are my psychologist, all 37 of you. Yes, a lot of you are wondering why this hasn't been uploaded on Monday. Reason for that was I did upload a vlog on Monday, and it was uploaded 5:30 p.m. and I went back to check how it was doing an hour later, and I realized that 3 minutes had uploaded, but for some reason the other 5 minutes of the vlog had just disappeared. But it was a blessing, because it was a really crappy vlog, and it was about the book number 4, which is my favorite book, which I will still be doing a blog about. but I wasn't really doing it justice, and it's my favorite book, and I'm not going to give away any cliffhangers or spoilers yet, but it's an awesome book. Yes, okay, sorry, had a bit of a brain fart moment there. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. If you want to receive notifications for when I upload my next vlog, please tap the notification bell. If you are feeling charitable, tap the like button. If you did not like this content and found me boring and droll, there's a thumbs up button. Leave a comment. I do read my comments. I am a little afraid of my comments because I've been watching YouTube for the past 2-3 years, and I follow this one girl in America called Amber Reed, and she's on a constant weight loss journey, whereas your girl is on a constant hair taming journey. If you look at my ends, I followed a Jenna Marbles hair cutting tutorial, and I cut my split ends, and they are not even. I actually want to cut a fringe or bangs, and I'm gonna vlog that as well. But I'm gonna like cut them really short so that if I do fail, and there is a high probability that I will fail, you know, statistics, then that'll be a fun video vlog. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I really love doing this. This is a hobby of mine. I'm hoping that it'll become a full-time hobby, but we will see. So I will see you next time on another episode of Tea with Lee, where the tea is cold now. Ugh, cold green tea is just vile. So I will see you next time. Bye guys.